Master molds. What are they? How do you make them? Why do you need them? If you're interested, I'll show you how. If not, scroll on. Have a great day. I don't care. What is a master mold? It's basically just a copy of your flat mold. If you're working with silicone flat molds, they're not going to last forever. Wear and tear, I've done this one 1,000 times. If you want to make bulk numbers, so if you're doing a long shoot and you need multiples of copies of things, if you were to run one mold over and over and over and over again, it's going to take you forever and it's a waste of time. So if you want to make copies of your mold, you need to make a master mold of it. And this is what I'm doing today. Also, if something were to happen to this, I'm doing something with a power tool over there and I fall over and crash into this mold, I like to have them as backups. I can just make another one from this. Hopefully you find it helpful. I'll show you how to make it. Enjoy, make good choices, get out, touch some grass, see the sun. Okay, so the first thing you want to do is build a wall up around your mold. Lots of people do this in different ways. I just tend to use scrap pieces of foam board because I have loads of foam board lying around from the shop. A lot of people can use clay and people have different techniques, but make sure you've got a nice border around the outside of the mold so you've got a good kind of surface area to work with. I use a hot glue gun and make sure it's nice and secure. Now we need to make sure that the flat mold doesn't move when you pour the resin on top. So what I do is put a layer of Vaseline on the bottom side of the flat mold. It just kind of creates a sealant layer so that when you put it in, it doesn't budge. Now you just want to give it a quick dust off, make sure there's no residue or fluff on it, and then go in with some mold release. You just want to make sure there's no adhesion between the resin and everything else. So I spray a little bit around on the foam board. I also brush over and make sure that the mold release hasn't left any indentations in the mold because that will show up in your copies. Now you want to mix up your resin. So I'm using 1:1 volume ratioed Easy Flow 120 resin, and genuinely thought I had recorded this. I recorded a whole little section of me pouring it out, mixing it all together, and didn't press record. So welcome to my millennial life. Then you want to pour it on top. Just make sure you've got a spirit level there to make sure everything is nice and even. And as you can see here, this is what happens when the resin starts to cure. Now this is going to be really hot. You don't want to touch it when it's hot, so let it cool down and come back to it later and start demolding. Once the resin's cooled down to room temperature, just take away the outside foam board, flip it over, and there you have your Master Mould copy. If you have a little bit of this excess resin that's just kind of creeped through, be very, very careful. I've got a scalpel here. I just like to trim the edges off, pop the mold out, and you can see the final result. And that's it. That's how you make a Master Mold. Hope you found this helpful. Please drop any comments or questions below and see you on the next one.